directly impact my family. A few years back when the economy really dipped and a lot of companies were letting off people. So, but currently right now it's not having any impact on my family.
I suppose it really hasn't affected me personally, but I know that finding a job in some professions is really difficult.
I am not employed in a job. However, I've had family members who have went to school for a long time and worked at a job for so many years and got laid off, and it affected her and her family because that's all she relied on to pay for them.
Are you sure you want to interview me for this?
Like there's a lot of like temp agencies that I know that give jobs or like help people find jobs. So I think if we had more of those.
I think it's a combination of things. You're talking about both the employee, doing what they need to do to make themselves more marketable, gaining the skills that the companies are seeking, as well as companies starting to maybe invest more into, ensuring like jobs stay local. We outsource so many of our jobs. A lot of companies are still building, plants outside the U.S. I think if we start going back to kind of U.S. manufacturing and, keeping everything jobs inside, less outsourcing will help too.
The most important thing is especially for her, in her case, she went to college and paid all this money, and out of all the people in her job, she was the one who got laid off. So I think as a state, we need to start looking at who academically and who, financially is ready for that job. And if there's somebody who has gone to college for more years and has worked at that job for longer, I don't think that they should get cut off for somebody who's just coming in and hasn't really gone to college for that long.
Outsourcing jobs and having more jobs here as opposed to countries that charge less.
Oh, definitely. I think that if you live in a place that doesn't really have good public transportation or isn't in an area where lots of jobs are, then you're going to have a hard time finding a job that isn't just like McDonald's. If you live in like a manufacturing town, you probably have access to more jobs or you know more people who work there. But especially in Arizona, we have lots of areas where there's just like houses and that's it. It's hard to find. You have to drive a long way to work. And if you don't have a car, if you don't have a job to pay for a car, it's kind of problematic to get there.
Absolutely, because Phoenix, fortunately at this period is kind of a growth state. So you do have companies coming in that give more opportunities for people to get jobs. The challenge with that, of course, is that they're looking for skilled labor. So if we don't have that labor force here, it doesn't really help the unemployment rate. But certainly, like in other cities where companies are leaving, the cost of living is becoming too expensive. So there aren't as many jobs, there aren't as many employers out there. So yeah, depending on where you live, it can have a big impact.
Oh, for sure. I just did a project for one of my classes, and the unemployment rate in the area that I am from is at 23%. There's really not a lot to do in that area in rural Michigan, so demographically, and the people aren't educated as people in other areas, I suppose, so they're limited to the jobs that they can do.
I guess we have like different cities that have like a higher poverty rate than us. Like those are probably the cities where we should have more like job offers. And
It does. However, if you're really needing a job, you're going to do whatever you can to support your family and to support you.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of white-collar jobs where there were job cuts and they kind of outsourced those jobs. So I would think that white-collar jobs would have a high unemployment rate, but I don't really know.
Because I would say that personally, I think it's fairly even. But you hear in terms of white-collar jobs, there's a huge demand for the health industry for technical skilled labor, all the STEM jobs and everything like that. There's going to be a massive need as we keep moving forward with technology in terms of a demand for skilled workers. So there's definitely a need there. So employment rate probably lower there, but you still need that. Blue collars, again, it's one of those things where you start seeing as we become more technology dependent, you know, as manufacturing starts using more automated manufacturing, all those types of things, delivery, you know, Amazon talks about bringing in drones for those types of things. That takes away actually a human person to, you know, have a job. And so you could see where blue collar could be impacted with just our more reliance on technology.
The unemployment rate is higher in the blue collar because we're so much about business and about what can we do better for our state, and we don't really pay attention to construction and different jobs in that field.
Probably blue collar jobs, I'm assuming, because those are the ones that, like factory jobs often, like I said, get outsourced, so I would assume that would be the area of weakness, or the highest unemployment.
Unemployment rate would probably be higher in the blue collar jobs, just because white collar, because you have to have so much more like education, you have to have like a degree of some sort, you have to be certified, you have to have all this experience, and a lot of people don't have that. So